and welcome to Australia's first Let's Talk Tiny Houses podcast. My name is Christine, and ever since laying eyes on my first tiny house, I wanted to know more about the movement, the lifestyle, the communities, and most of all, how I can go tiny. While on my tiny journey, gathering information and meeting amazing like-minded people, I started thinking, apart from my business, how could I contribute back to the movement? Then I was introduced to podcasting, and that was my light bulb moment. I'm so thrilled that through this podcast, I am able to bring you an amazing cast of co-hosts who all bring their own unique skills, knowledge, and advice to each episode. All of us are extremely passionate about the tiny house movement and want to share our experience, expertise, and enthusiasm with our listeners. Each week we will bring you a special guest interview or particular hot topic discussion that relates to tiny living for your listening pleasure. Okay, let's jump in and find out who we have with us this week. So hi everyone, welcome to this week's episode of Let's Talk Tiny Houses. I'm really excited this week. I've got Brisbane's first food truck operator with me this week, and it's Harry from the Bun Mobile. Hi Harry.
Hi Christine, how are you?
I'm really good, and like I said, thank you so much for giving me this time today, because I know it's your day off and you've come in special for it, so thank you.
No trouble at all.
I actually first found out about you from one of my clients in the Urbane building, and Bianca down at reception, she'd said to me, someone's coming here tonight in a truck, and I was, oh really, who is it? And she said, it's Harry from the Bun Mobile. And I was like, oh, great. So she passed the card on, and that's how we've come to meet each other. So we're doing the interview today in the van, in the truck.
Yes. The truck. Mm-hmm.
So, and I was reading some of the awards that you've won. You've won Best Food Truck from 2014 to 2017 in Brisbane.
Yes, we've been Best Food Truck or runner-up the last few years. Also, we've been acknowledged in the New York Times a few times, voted one of the top bows in the world, so, we've got a few feathers in our cap, not to mention a lot of them, they're on our website or somewhere around the place for people to check on.
Yeah, I saw them on your website. So we really do have someone special with us today. So that's great. If you would like to just give us a little bit of background about yourself and the van, and we'll sort of take it from there.
Okay, no trouble. 8 years ago we started this journey with the Bun Mobile. It came about by my son, or my stepson actually, showing me an article on food trucks in America, and I just finished a 10-year stint as the executive chef for the Port of Brisbane Corporation, and I was looking for something new to do. So I looked at this concept of food trucks in Brisbane. There hadn't been any on the streets prior to that, so one day I just went out and I bought myself a Ford Transit long wheelbase cab chassis truck, and then decided to build the truck onto this platform. So once I came up with the food concept, then I designed the truck around that. So I was looking at something that was quite unique, and Gao Bao, or Bows as everyone calls them now, was something that I wanted to bring to the people of Brisbane, something totally different rather than hamburgers or chips and what have you.
Yeah.
Not that they don't have their place. So we built this truck purely to cater for bows. And I designed it, sat around the kitchen bench for a couple of months and designed it, and then put it together and found a local guy who built it, and it's been going for just a bit over 8 years, and there's the stories there. It's all there on our Facebook and our Instagram and blah blah.
Yeah. So you were really instrumental in the design of the truck.
Yes, I designed the interior of the truck, and then I took it to the fabricator, the builder, who helped me just put a few extra things together, where we're going to put the generator, where we're going to put the hot water system, the gas bottles, the cold room. And I really wanted to have a walk-in cold room in this truck so that it was like a commercial kitchen on wheels. Being a chef, I wanted to have everything at my fingertips and keep everything, above waist level, rather than having refrigeration down low. You can just walk into that cold room and it's all there.
Yeah.
So, so we put it all together, and it's it's been working all this time. It's still going strong.
Yeah, that's great. So had the gentleman that helped you build it, had he built a food truck before?
Yes, he built some large food vans and trailers for commercial use, but this was the first food truck he built, and then he built this one for us we called the blue truck, and then we built the second one, which was a red one, and our kids were running that, and but they went on to do other things, so we passed that off. We sold that truck. We've just got one now on the streets, and we cater on the streets a few nights a week. So we do a lot of corporate stuff as well as private weddings and parties. So no, people see us all over the place.
Yeah. So, how long had you been an executive chef?
I've been a chef for about 40 years. It's a long time. Long time to work in the kitchen.
So, were you thinking about retirement or just a complete change?
No, I was working for the Port of Brisbane for 10 years as an executive chef, and then because it was a government-owned corporation, we had 5 restaurants and outlets under the Port of Brisbane catering banner. The state government decided in their wisdom to sell the port, so the new owners decided that they didn't want to have catering. So we're all given our handshake and said, see you later, on your way. So, and that's where I decided that, I wanted to do something different, because when you're a chef, you just can't sit still for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
You've got to keep going and doing things, otherwise I'll drive my wife absolutely crazy.
Yeah. And did your wife work with you?
When we first started, Christine, was instrumental in, putting all the social media together and helping. And she worked on the truck for about 3.5 years, and then she said, "No, it's not for me." So she's gone off to do something totally different. And I worked this with a couple of our kids and other staff as well. When we needed. So she was a great asset to the business when we first started, and she still does behind the scene things now. She looks after the website and other issues as well that we have.
Oh, that's awesome. When you were looking at the truck originally, was it size you were looking for? Was that the main factor in choosing this vehicle?
I wanted something that had a bit of length in it, and that it was you didn't have to tow a trailer. Mm-hmm. I can take this van virtually anywhere and squeeze it into a gap or under a building or into someone's back garden. I don't have to back a trailer in there, and it's just a one-stop unit.
Yes.
Everything's on board. We've got power, we've got water, we've got gas, we've got cold rooms, we've got everything on this truck that we need.
Yep.
So, so I only need one vehicle to move this mobile kitchen around.
Yeah.
So, which makes it very, very handy, and it's a lot easier to manage as well.
Yeah.
So, I think I've got a Ford Transit long wheelbase truck. We've built everything into it. So all in the middle of the chassis, underneath the floor that you're standing on, are our water tanks. They're all stainless steel. There's a 100-litre freshwater tank and a 110-litre sullage tank. All the wastewater goes in there.
Yeah.
So that's all pumped in the side every day, and then we drop it down into the grease trap of a night time when we get home. But it's all here.
Yeah.
It's all here.
I'd love to go into the specifics of the van, maybe towards the end of the interview.
Yeah, that's right.
So that'd be really great, because our listeners are really interested, even though they have their tiny homes, it's still very interesting to find out how you're using your power and your water and recycling and everything like that. So had you ever operated the business from bricks and mortar, except for the Port of Brisbane?
No, I've owned restaurants in the past.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I trained as a chef in London at the Cordon Bleu Corporate School, and then I came back to Australia and worked at the Baguette restaurant, and then I opened my own business at Clayfield, which is called Harold's Purveyors of Fine Foods, which was one of the first delis in Brisbane. And then I ventured out and I owned a restaurant at Spring Hill called Harold's Posh Cafe, and then a catering business running in conjunction with that as well. And I opened and owned Harry's Diner at Newmarket Road as well. So a few of these iconic restaurants and eateries around Brisbane, I've had a hand in sort of bringing forward and, making popular in Brisbane, and hoping make quite a few tummies nice and full and happy so along the way.
Well, Harry's Diner is, particularly for car buffs, huge, isn't it?
Well, I've just noticed it. It's just been sold, and it's going to be, I think it's going to be a ribs or a
ribs
American,
and rum sort of thing?
No, I'm not quite sure. Don't quote me on that. I did see something that's been sold recently.
Oh.
But that was around for a long time, Harry's Diner.
Yeah, very iconic in that.
Yeah.
I love my vintage cars, although I have a modern vintage. A modern classic there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love all the vintage cars, and that's a big gathering spot for Brisbane people, yeah. Thinking, if we maybe thought about those businesses that you had to this one, what are the sort of advantages and disadvantages that you're seeing between the two? Like, if you had your greatest wish granted, are you enjoying this sort of operating system more than a restaurant or cafe style?
Yeah, I think they've got their own particular way about them. I really enjoy what I'm doing at the moment, running this food truck, because it gives me the opportunity to take it to different places. We go to Annerley, Graceful, Wynnum, Stafford, we all over the place to do a nightly service around Brisbane. But also we have got the opportunity to take this truck to someone's wedding, whether it be in the Lockyer Valley or at Noosa or down at Byron Bay. Or, we can take it anywhere. We've done some fabulous weddings in so many beautiful places. So, but I'm enjoying it. I really enjoy it. Yeah.
Oh, that's excellent.
One day the bell will ding and I'll go, that's it.
Not for a while though?
Not for a while.
No.
Not for a few more years.
Do you think your kids would keep it going for you?
No. I don't. No, well, they've all got their own careers.
Oh.
They've all got their own careers.
Yeah.
So, they work part-time, for a bit of extra pocket money, but that's all.
Have you found yourself a mentor for food trucks that are popping up in Brisbane now? Like, do they look to you for the gold standard of how to do it?
Well, I do run a little consultancy business for food trucks, for new food trucks, but I also run Downey Park food trucks, which are food truck activations or food truck picnics, we call them, around Brisbane, whether they are at the New Farm Park or the Botanical Gardens, or the next one we're going to the Pullenvale Folk Festival. So I organise all the food trucks to come to those things and invite food trucks along and get a good balance of different types of food, different food trucks. Invite those that are new on the scene to come along and get, wet their feet in the business and give them a start. Because there's a lot of events in Brisbane, and some of the newer ones find it difficult to get into some events. But so I have a platform there with our food truck activation that we can help them come to some of our events.
Oh, that's great.
So the gentleman that was just here a moment ago, he is in the Bayside Brass, and we have an event down there at Manly twice a year, and Lockie organises the cars to come along, and I organise the food truck and the brass bands play in the park, and it's all a lovely community event.
Oh, great.
So it's all working together.
Yeah.
And we also work in conjunction with the Brisbane City Council, with Brisbane Metropolitan Bands as well, with Helen Johns. So, it all works so well, food trucks, music on a Sunday afternoon, and, for some cars and things like that for people to see.
It's perfect.
Yeah.
It's perfect. And it's so, like you say in your write-ups on your website and Facebook and your little videos, it's 5-star food and it's quality food. It's not like sort of, really greasy, heavy, unhealthy food. It's like 5-star.
Yeah, well, our bowls are, they're steamed. So they're not fried or, toasted bread, steamed buns, and the meats that we put in there, classic meats, so our pork, our chicken and our Wagyu beef, are all sous vide, which means it's been slow cooked in a water circulator, so it helps to preserve the food and decontaminate anything that might be in it as well. So it's a really popular way of cooking really soft, tender food. I spend a lot of time in putting different specials on every night in this truck. We have 2 or 3 different specials every night. So, it brings people back all the time. They want something different, And I've got hundreds of these specials that we do, and, we post them up on our Instagram or Facebook every day and show people. They go, oh, wow, that looks good, and they'll pop along and have something different.
I think I saw that you call your followers or your little fans Bunstars.
Yeah, Bunstars. Yeah, we call our Bunstars. Yeah.
So cute.
Yeah, and we've got a Bunster loyalty card. They get it stamped with a little heart on it.
I think that's it. I think the appeal of tiny homes can sort of translate into tiny businesses. That it really is you. It's your personality, everything you want in this micro form, which kind of accentuates it in a way. When I interviewed Peter from Black Rabbit Espresso, he was saying how it's like his own little community of clients, and then they become friends, and it becomes a micro community. And I think that's something that with larger businesses, they wouldn't feel that closeness as these businesses would, which again, like with tiny homes, everyone loves them because there's the community and
well, as you can see in here, it's only a very small space. It's only 2 meters wide, and it's about 5 meters long inside this kitchen. Once we open up the side, we're exposed to the world, warts and all. So this place has got to be kept, in spotless condition all the time. You don't want to look through here and see grease dripping down the walls, or it's dirty or filthy. You've got to see something that's nice and tidy and neat, because kitchens are like that. But this truck, as I said, it's just a bit over 8 years old, and I think it's doing pretty well to date. And because we had the guy who built it, Rodney Bird, really put a lot of effort into putting the best quality stainless steel in here, the best quality everything, so it will last. It'll last the journey, it's it is hard work, running a little business like this and keeping it looking like this. But to reap the rewards of your hard work, you've got to put it in. You've got to really, put the effort in to make it look good. There's no point in doing it half-hearted, I reckon.
No. Oh no, and it looks new. You wouldn't think it was 8 years old by any means.
Tomorrow is the big clean day. We've got to clean the roof and do all sorts of things to it as well. Yeah, so we do have a scrubbing day where we, because it does collect, grease coming up through, because we do have a grill that, it goes up through the filters and onto the roof, and, road dirt and that. But we do clean it and clean it and clean it, like our hoods. We do those every day. They go into a special warm water bath that's biodegradable and non-toxic, and cleans or dissolves the grease, and all our stainless steel equipment goes in there as well. So it's always nicely polished. It's not black and dirt and looking pretty crappy. So
it looks great. So with if we spoke about recycling and biodegradable products and things like that, do you have a strong focus on?
Yeah, we're totally green.
Yep.
Totally green. So all our containers are made from sugarcane. Our cutlery is timber. Our straws are paper. Our bags are made from paper bags, to take away paper bags. The sad part about it is when you buy these biodegradable units, they come in a plastic bag.
Oh, yes.
They come in a plastic bag. I like, just to keep the dust out of them, because we buy cartons and, take away containers, but they will come in a plastic bag sleeve, which is bingo. So we're not totally green, we're 99.9%.
Yeah.
But we recycle everything. We've got recycle bins. We recycle all our paper through Visi down there. And over here we put all our bottles in there because they go to my grandson who collects 10 cents on them and he's saving up for a computer.
Oh, fantastic. Yeah, I actually, when one of my other co-hosts, Patty, she took me to my first recycling plant where you go up and you put all your recyclables in, and then they've got this screen there that you can get your money or get your receipt. Oh, this is fantastic.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's great for the kids because they can just take the bags down there and put them in the bin and do that, and they get the money put into their account. So
and really, it was very clean, very easy. And then if you didn't have a purpose for putting it in, you could donate to different charities.
That's right, you can.
Yeah, so I thought that's just fantastic. Yeah. So I had imagined it was like going to the tip. And I was like,
No, it's all high tech now.
It is super high tech now. So Patty gave me a big education on that. It was fantastic. So what do you love most about the truck?
I think the freedom of moving it around. As I said to you before, that we take it to some fabulous spots. We've done some beautiful, beautiful weddings, and you turn up there and we park in the middle of a field and you open up the side and there's this magic marquee, and people having fun, and the bride and groom getting married beside a lake, and it's all there. You can't do it with a pop-up tent.
No.
There's so much stuff you got to take. We just load things into here because the way it's designed. You wouldn't have 4 or 5 people working in this truck and not bump into each other or kill each other. It's designed so that it's got maximum amount of working space in the minimum amount of area that we have. And we've got sort of benches that we can put up here that are portable. We can slide them underneath, and it's like this bench will come out and pop down the side. That just sits on there, a non-slip mat, and
okay, so that's for the customers.
Yeah, that just goes on the outside of the truck. And when we open up the side, it just slits into some little holes on the side, and there's a little working bench down there. If we're doing a large wedding and we need more bench space that runs from here, we can hook it straight out to the side there, so that takes this bench from being, say 2 foot to 4 foot wide. So it's more to put more food on and.
So when you do the weddings, do you stick to your normal menu, or do you?
Oh no, we tailor make a menu to suit the bride and the groom, and we do all sorts of things like savouries and platters of savouries and things like that, and as well as our buns for main course. People want to experience the food truck experience. They want to come up and get a bun.
Yeah.
And then they have their buns, and we do desserts as well. We do all sorts of different crazy desserts. From chocolate brownies to Eton mess, or to a sago pudding, or all different sorts of things, and so we offer all that.
Is that a bit of fun for you to create the menu?
Yeah, we do. Yeah, it really is. It's good.
Yeah.
But we try to keep it fairly simple because when you're doing a wedding in a remote area, people are starving by 4 o'clock in the afternoon. They'll eat your leg off as soon as you pull up. So we've got to have food that they can get into, and it's nice and hearty and easy to eat as well. Yeah. So, but we can do it all out of here. We've got steam ovens here, and here we can steam dumplings and all sorts of things, and we can grill on there, and we don't have a deep fryer, so we don't do chips or anything like that. We've got a char grill that we can do specialised stuff. So we've gone away from deep fried food, and we're only doing our grilled and sous vide type foods for our customers, So maybe one day we might put in a deep fryer. Maybe not. But,
something to think about.
Something to think about.
Yeah.
So bows are always popular. We're heading off to the Tenerife Festival in a couple of weeks' time. That's always been very busy for us. We do a few events during the year. Large events like that, and we probably do 1,500 serves or something there for the day, from 12 o'clock to 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
So we move a bit of volume through this truck. when we do those things. But we do particularly like to do the specialised events, and doing something with somebody that, at the truck pull up at their home and away we go. What did we do last week? We did the mini event, and we catered for a party on Saturday night at a private home, a beautiful private home, and then on Sunday we're underneath the Story Bridge doing the 104 event for Eva Air. So, those sort of things are always there. We do them. We don't advertise all our catering jobs on our Facebook and Instagram because a lot of them like to be private. So we pop up those ones that are quite happy they get their picky whacked on Instagram.
Well, it would be fantastic because it wouldn't be like them having the catering coming in because they'd have everything to clean up afterwards. It's like
that's true.
You're there and then whoop, you're gone.
We drive in and drive out. All we need to do is find a flat spot to park, or reasonably flat, because with our steam ovens, because they're gravity fed water-based ovens, so it drips onto a little hot plate and it steams to steam our buns. We need to have that flat. If it's on an angle, it drips out the front or it drips out the back, and it's a bit of a nightmare. But once we're flat, we're sweet, and we just come in. And the only thing we leave would maybe a little water spot on their driveway from a bit of condensation coming from the cauldron.
Yeah.
Or maybe an overflow from the hot water system. But that's it.
That's it.
We take all the waste away with us, and that's it.
That's
you don't even
brilliant.
know we're there.
Yeah.
Because we've got a big generator in the side of the truck that slides in and out. And that's a big Honda 7 kVA. It's a massive big Jenny that runs this whole truck. We've gone for a bit of overkill with that because when we do large events, we might have 2 more steam ovens in here. If we're doing an event for, say, 600 people, we'll need to have 2 more steam ovens running as well. So a larger generator will run more steam ovens because the hot plates always take more power.
Okay.
And we might have a few other little bits and pieces that are going as well.
Yeah.
So we move equipment in and out of the truck as we need it.
So where would you put those extra steam ovens when you need them?
We will have them over here.
Over there, okay.
Over there.
Yep.
And so we will run a waterproof lead across to there and plug it in, and it'll run off one of these points here because the steam ovens they're only a 10 amp. So we've got 4 of them running off a Jenny out there. So but it all runs through a power box inside. It's just like a household power box, like a breaker box, So you've got your lights on here.
Oh, yep.
Then you've got your hood for the exhaust hood, power points, cold-room, hot water system. If you overload it, they'll trip.
That's right.
And then everything else has got its own system as well. We've got 240 volts that runs the whole truck, even when the Jenny's going. And then, should we ever have a breakdown, which we've had one, we blew our generator up one night, we could still trade for a while because inside, when we turn these off, then we've got, where is it? 12 volt power in the truck. So, it's still,
brilliant.
it's still got a bit of light, but it doesn't power up the steam ovens, unfortunately. But all the cooking equipment runs on gas. And the gas bottles are inside a sealed unit in the truck that carry 2 9-kilo gas bottles.
2 9-kilo.
Yeah, so if one empties, we've got a spare. And Swap and Go have been kind enough to give me one of their Swap and Go cages just outside my warehouse, and they'll come and fill that up with 10 gas bottles every couple of weeks, and I just Swap and Go myself.
Oh, how good's that?
That's pretty good.
Yeah. Oh, brilliant. Wow, what a great episode. I would like to thank you for listening, and I really hope you enjoyed this week's discussion. I would like to now invite you over to our exclusive Facebook group, where you as our listeners will be able to interact with us, each other, see photos and additional extras that accompany each episode, and be the first to know what we have coming up. If there is a particular topic you would like to hear more about, or someone you think we need to interview, please drop us a line at letstalktinyhouses@gmail.com or via our Facebook group. You can find this podcast series on iTunes, Spotify, or your favourite podcast app. And while you're there, please show your love by giving us a rating. Hopefully it's 5 stars. Our show notes will be available on Podbean, along with any podcast corrections and amendments. The Let's Talk Tiny Houses podcast is brought to you by myself, Christine Murphy, and my business, OCD, Organising, Cleaning and Decluttering Specialist, which can be found on Facebook or through my website, ocdpro.com.au. I would like to thank all my co-hosts for their amazing contributions and Joanne Helder for editing all our audio and making us sound so fabulous. Until next week, please take care and enjoy yourself.